Hello there. Don't mind me. I'm just sipping on a nice cup of tea in preparation for the angry comments that I'm likely to receive. Opinions are a funny thing. We like to think that we have the answer, when really we're just yelling at each other in different fonts. I'm going to be sharing some of my own controversial and hot takes today. You don't have to agree with them, and statistically, you probably won't, and that's perfectly fine. Disagreement builds character. Or at least that's what I keep telling myself every time I get a mean comment. Number 1. Open world games are overrated. Alright, so let's start with a big one. I'm not saying that every open world game is bad. Breath of the Wild and Outer Wilds are two incredible games with a good story that keeps players engaged the entire time because of their worlds. They can be fun to run around and explore in, but it seems like we just keep getting more games advertising that they're open world. You can have a massively open world game, but if it lacks a story or anything to do in them, it doesn't mean anything. Saints Row and No Man's Sky, even after the updates, there's times when it feels like I'm taking the highway on a road trip. There's nothing to do, and I get bored easily. Number 2, Nintendo's online service is unacceptable. I'm very specific in the wording here. It's not that it's only bad, it's downright pitiful. Compared to the Xbox and PlayStation, where you get countless games through their services alongside an online connection for multiplayer games, Nintendo's just doing the bare minimum here. I'll be fair in saying the price matches what you get. You have an online connection, and you do have some games to play. They're nothing crazy, but you have them. There's also a smartphone app that lets you use voice chat over games. Whoa! Everyone uses Discord now, or if you're playing a retro game, Skype.
Microsoft has announced it will be closing down Skype.
There needs to be an update in order for me to keep my subscription with them. Number 3, battle passes are better than loot boxes. I like to know what I'm buying before spending money on it. With loot boxes, you have no idea what's inside. You're spending money on a mystery item, which can be fun in its own right, but if I'm after something specific or I've already put a lot of money into a game,
I'd like to know what I get with my money.
With a battle pass, yeah, you typically get more than what you're after, but at least you know what you're getting. Just get the membership and get what you want. Number 4, esports are sports. Not to sound like a kid giving a book report, but the definition of a sport
is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or a team competes against another or others for entertainment.
I've made a video already talking about esports. Check that out if you haven't already. I went to an esports event in it just to learn more, but I think it's worth repeating here. Under this definition, esports are a sport. There's teams, there's events. Maybe not at the same level as a traditional athlete, but there is physical exertion needed. They may not be your traditional sport, but they fit into the world of sports. Number 5, the N64 controller is bad. Maybe it's because I'm used to traditional controllers now, but I mean, come on, just look at it. I know that this is some people's childhood, and I've tried using it before, but it just doesn't look comfortable. It's uncomfortable to hold, the analog stick in the middle is a pain, and the triggers never work. I don't think you remember using this controller as a kid. You remember the fun times playing games with your friends and family. That's fine. Enjoy those moments. But don't say the controller was the Mona Lisa when it looks more like a Dali painting. Number 6, VR won't be the future of gaming. Virtual reality has been getting better over the years, and more gaming companies have been trying to make them accessible for players to try. They're cool, and I've had some in the past, but when it comes to a Ready Player One style of how impactful VR will be, I think we're close to the top. VR is a gimmick in the gaming world, but it's being used in other places to help people, especially in the medical and science fields. I think that's where we're going to see more developments for VR. I'm sure it'll still be around, but it won't be as groundbreaking as people make it out to be. Number 7, Sonic's jump to 3D wasn't that bad. Nearly every YouTuber at one point or another has said Sonic had a rough transition to 3D. Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Sonic in general, but I've played my fair share of them, and it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. Some 3D Sonic games are bad, there's no question there, but others simply got hated on because they were 3D. Without those 3D Sonic games, we wouldn't have Sonic Frontiers, which has some issues of its own, but for being the first open-world Sonic game, it's pretty good. The only 3D Sonic game I can recall ever having trouble with was Sonic Blast. But really, I think that was more of just I didn't understand the controls at the time because I was like 8. Sonic, just like every other game out there that was trying to transition to 3D, had a rough time. But it's not as bad as people are making it out to be. Number 8. Waluigi doesn't deserve to be in Smash. Yeah, I said it. Number 9. The Telltale games were overrated. Minecraft Story Mode, The Walking Dead, Batman, they each have a unique concept of changing their ending based on your choices, but the choices you make hardly make a big enough difference for you to see. Most of them simply depend on which character will die. The endings do change slightly, but they weren't enough to make me want to play them. That being said, I still enjoyed these games. They clearly put a lot of love, and the acting in them is great. I just think they were a bit overhyped at the time when they were coming out. And number 10. Developers should delay their games more often. It's becoming more and more common for game developers to release their games only for them to not be finished or complete. I would much rather wait a little bit longer for a polished game that's all set than it to come early and have glitches galore. No Man's Sky was a barren wasteland when it first released, and I got it day one. I sold it a few weeks later of just walking around doing nothing. When it went back on Game Pass, I tried it again, and there is more to do, but I wouldn't play it by myself. Push your game back until it's finished. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, and I'm used to being patient, and I'm pretty sure the Hollow Knight community can relate with that. And there you have it, my top 10 most controversial gaming takes. We should all have different opinions and feel comfortable sharing them. It feels as though going against what others think is wrong, when really it's just a different opinion, which is fine to have. Now, those are just my hot takes, but what about you? What's a controversial take you have on gaming? Let me know in the comments. Anyway guys, thank you for watching this video, and remember to chase the chaos.